I understand I'm sitting alone by saying this. I'm adamantly against rainy day funds.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So, you want to have that rainy day fund. My suggestion is credit card.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. What do you mean?
And let's say, God forbid, it's a medical emergency and you have to declare bankruptcy at some point in the future. Declare bankruptcy, it's bankruptcy.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
Yeah, seamless.
Oh yeah, that was very seamless.
I think it started before I started it.
That's all good.
I'm a washed up YouTuber.
I'm a washed up hack YouTube guest.
I know. No one will ever watch me.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. So.
Oh, for sure. Rewarding the people with 2 live streams on this channel, and you made an appearance on Capital Mindset, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know if I'll do. I probably will take. I need a mini break.
Yeah.
Well, I have some research to do for my next video. I just thought about another video that some of these topics are going to take more work. So.
It's all right.
Anyways,
I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Did you gain any vast knowledge from yesterday?
I thought so. Like, a lot of things were covered, and I'm thinking that this one will be very informative also, because I know
that Paycom drop.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember in recent memory a stock that dropped that much in one day.
Like, especially for it to be
historically, I can think of some, but like
nothing
in the last year or so that I can think of. Where 38 or 39% one day.
Yeah, like, especially since it's also like not a degenerate stock or company.
No, but I see the concern is that, like,
for sure, yeah.
It appears like their growth plan is just to cannibalize their own customers, basically. So I don't know. I've never I have ADP. I have it's very small. I just have it. It's a great dividend growth company, but like to speculate on a payroll, I don't know. I never really thought about it, like good or bad, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, it's like the person that that brought up the idea, at least the one that, like, the person who brought it up where I came across, they did clearly say, like, there are clear macro things that could blindside you and blast the position. But granted, though, I think they were speaking about a different payroll company. But yeah, like, it happens. It happens.
Devastation.
Yep.
I wonder what the puts. Oh my god, what would the puts? I didn't even want to look, because if you miss out, you miss out.
Oh
man,
yeah,
those puts.
Yeah,
you probably would have 10x'd, actually. Good chance.
Yeah, it's the problem is that, like, if you were to buy puts after the fact, that I'm a little unsure. I haven't looked at all the details on that, but
Kale,
yeah.
0.5 Paycom.
Yeah. I'd say,
they don't work out so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
So, well, without further ado, I guess, yeah. So this was, I think this was last week, but I didn't want to talk about it then, I guess. I don't think we have much details, but
yeah.
I originally had said, like, if a union stays together, solidly backing their plan, no infighting. I thought they were going for a lot of things that they weren't going to get, but that was their strategy, which you could tell. I didn't mention this before, but that was the first UAW president that they voted on, like, as an election. I guess the previous UAW presidents had been like some backhanded, like, imagine if we elected president through the primary process.
Oh yeah,
after the general election.
Yep.
So that's how they used to elect the president. And this guy is the first one that actually represented that. You could argue represented the UAW workers, but he used technology to his benefit. The targeted. I'll tell you what. You watch the big three are gonna put their lobbyists to work to try and not let that happen again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they would rather, like, a general strike would just
Yep.
empty the coffers of the UAW.
Mm-hmm.
So these targeted strikes over like months,
Oh,
they're going to
yeah.
try and pass legislation that
For
won't
sure.
allow that.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yep.
I think
And-
they got blindsided by that strategy.
Yep. If that doesn't
They
work,
were not ready. You could see in the interviews of like with GM and Ford CEOs, they didn't seem prepared for that.
no.
And I read one story where it's like the UAW was whispering, I guess, to some informant about one plant being picked for a strike, and then they waited until it was GM or Ford started moving production to compensate, and then they changed their plan, and it got like released to MSNBC, and then they just changed what plant they're going to strike at, so like double screwed. That guy, man, he came ready to go, and there were people making fun of him. You know, all the capitalist pigs out there. We're making fun of him and his messaging and all that. I'm like, that's a union boss type guy. Like, I've had union people speak at like dinners that I've been at. It's a different, it's kind of political, but it's different than a politician, the way they talk. But that bombastic, grandiose, like the way, on the like Eat the Rich, that t-shirt he was wearing and stuff. I mean, that's kind of what those guys do. It's some of union stuff is kind of cartoonish to some degree and funny, but it's fine.
Behind the scenes, though, crafty is all.
What? Yeah, I'm telling unionism. The union cause is coming back, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw this year. I could spend a whole episode talking about everybody that striked got great deals. Like started with the UPS. That was the start of the snowball. Like, I think the union effort was ready to come back in force in America. Inflation just kicked it down the hill.
Yeah.
So, if the feds want to blame anybody for union strife, they can blame the Fed. They can blame themselves for the mess we're in. But what do you want workers to do with 9% inflation?
No,
and anemic. A lot of the union deals were still in place from the Great Recession. The concessions a lot of the unions made during 08, 09 were kept in place during all of this quantitative easing. Also had suppressed union deals. So it was the golden era, right? From 2010 to like 22. But now it's come back, and now we're normalizing union deals. Like these are normally what the unions get. They're kicking all that crap out that they gave away for the Great Recession. I was shocked. One stat, it was like the pay raise they're getting in this deal is more than it was Stellantis or GM's, I think. The pay raise for this deal is more than what they got the last like 20 years combined, which is over the next 3 years, I think, is the way it was 25 or 28% over like next 3 years.
Yeah.
So better not. I got 9% and a bonus, so they beat my deal.
I think AP also mentioned that like at bare minimum, at least one factory was saved from being shut down.
Yeah, I was going to go through some of some of the terms of GM and Ford. I don't give a crap with Stellantis. I didn't even look their deal up. Good, but this is funny because they're like, is Tesla next? I'm like, well, you could say is Tesla. A lot of the southern factories, which are Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, are down in the South. They're not unionized, and they've tried for years. Just culturally, they don't like unions in the South.
Yeah.
So they haven't overcome that yet. But it's just culturally, unions are not popular or favored in the South for whatever reasons. So that's a struggle still. But those people will get pay raises out of this. So even when you're not in the cause, you benefit from it because Toyota and Tesla are going to have to pay their workers better because the UAW is paying their workers. They go together. So everyone's going to benefit, So the Tesla workers, they'll get raises. And then Toyota already, I think, got ahead of it and already offered raises when this deal went through.
Yep.
So again, Toyota showing how friggin', alpha their company is.
Sometimes when you see the writing on the wall, you move before other people do, and if you're able to retain the talent,
So tentative deal. Their website, I gotta say, man, their website really well done. Some of the graphics they put together, because like this is auto workers. These aren't these are
Yeah,
like
yeah.
line workers on, so could be high school dropouts and stuff. It's very colorful. I was very impressed with how they did their this is the UAW.
Oh yeah.
But they do like this to show like what the deal entailed.
Hmm.
Like this is great.
Oh,
Whoever
yeah.
designed this, like good job. Like it's very easy to read and union people can be interested in the union effort, but also they're people with kids and a job and stuff. So they
Yeah.
don't have time. You just got to give them this information.
Yep.
Like I get emails. They're not as colorful as this, but they're pretty to the point on subjects. They don't screw around. If they do a call, it's 20 or 30 minutes tops. They'll call you at like a specific time, like a robocall, and then people will talk.
Yeah.
But they're right to the point. They don't even do introductions. It's just boom. As soon as you pick the phone up, I start hearing the topics that they want to talk about. So let's see. We're getting raises. So here's the Ford agreement.
Yep.
So they're talking about, here's that stat. They got more wage increases than like the previous freaking 20 years. Oh my God. Starting wages will increase, which is good. There was some sort of tiered system that was created in the Great Recession.
Yeah.
Which UPS had the same thing. They had this tiered system where not everyone that came in was treated the same, depending on when you came into the union, which is really wild. Like I've never seen that in the government. I mean, we have like hourlies and we have permanent staff. I guess that's the only comparison I would have. But yeah, here. So they got rid of this tiered pension system silliness that was implemented recently. They got their COLA back, their cost of living adjustments.
Yep.
I knew like if I was in that union, I'm like, you die on the hill for that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The pension stuff, I think they just put it in there. But like the COLA, cost of living adjustment's huge because you have a scaled wages. So it's just a big spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So someone that lives in a suburban, works in like I don't know, like a city, Lexington, Kentucky would make the exact same as someone living out in Ohio, where the cost of living is vastly different.
Yeah.
Same for we have cost of living because of New York City. Same thing. So downstate state workers get a cost of living adjustment.
Yeah.
So they didn't have that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But they got it back now. Some of the other stuff I noticed, they got some say in battery factories. Their deals are a little different, Ford and GM, but they did get some sort of, it was kind of tricky to read. I didn't have a lot of time, but they got like rights. If they open a battery facility, they can unionize it. Like the people that work there can decide if they want to take the big universal deal or unionize as a shop.
Yeah.
So I don't think they got exactly what they wanted. They wanted decision-making on the battery future of the companies. I think they just got the opportunity to unionize the battery facilities, which is different, which that's probably as good as they were going to get.
Probably. Yeah.
Like the companies will not give you management decision, like to be on the board where the decisions are made. That's a bridge they're going to die on. Not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which I don't blame them because that's their job, right?
No, I think like a lot of moves were made that were by and large reasonable for union members and also from a company perspective.
Yeah, it's like short week paid out with no penalty for overtime worked or refused. So like I said before, time, your time is valuable in these deals.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of these things. Can they call you into work? Do you have off days? Is there mandatory overtime? These are the, news never covers this. They just do the headline, the raise, right? They do the raises and they talked about unionizing the battery shop. That's all you get. So I think they did great. The pension was never coming back. I mean, I think the pension would bankrupt the companies. You just can't, they can't go back to having a pension. It's just too much cost for these companies at this point. So here's GM's deal. They didn't have it updated on their website yet. So highlights of this, let's see, battery plant breakthrough. So what was holding up the GM deal was to include Ultima Cell battery plants in the master labor contract. So that's, like I said, the big UAW national contract, not just like a shop, like a Teamster shop, which is a joint venture. I can see how GM didn't want them to unionize that because it also wasn't totally GM's. It was part of LG. So it is included. It's complicated. Yeah, these things are complicated as hell.
Yeah.
So they got into the battery facilities. Let's see. Yeah, GM 25% raises, 4.5-year contracts. So they'll be dispersed over the whole time frame probably. Reinstatement of cost of living, as you can see, which ended during the Great Recession. Profit sharing formula reached with same profit sharing as with Ford. Okay. They're pretty similar deals. I think the battery facility language is different to some degree.
Yep.
But they got what they wanted. And then retiree, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Oh, for sure. Like and even on the whole fight for pension thing that they originally proposed, they still got like, a nice match as what I read from the AP on their 401ks. So, like it's not exact, but it's not like you're walking back to your union members saying, "Oh, we only have, minimal stuff." Like yeah, 401k match, an increased percentage is definitely, better, far better than nothing for sure. And
I hate that people super negative about unions. That like
yeah,
there's a few YouTubers, and I would love to talk to them because they're just greedy capitalist pigs, and I'm
yeah,
just like, I get you never been in union, and all you care about is investing, fine, but like this is life changing. Some of these deals, these are huge for people and their families,
oh for sure,
and to not appreciate that at all, like those
yeah,
UPS deals, like I saw in like videos where like there was like spouses crying when they found out like what they got in those deals.
yeah,
Like these are
like
huge. These are people that get these deals. I understand. Like you don't have to buy the goddamn stock. Like
no,
if you don't like unions, don't buy any company that has unions in it. Okay, it's
hmm
not hard. You can do that as a person. Like why do you have to go out of your way to like bash unions when you've never worked in one or understand how they work?
yeah, but like even like with a simple look back, like a lot of the big auto companies, a lot of those union workers would buy the very products that they were building.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mean to tell me that a Teamster, doesn't use the services that they work with? Like in many ways, like it doesn't all necessarily bounce, but some of it does come out in the wash, so to speak. Like
UPS has done just fine over
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and they've always been with the Teamsters.
yeah, like
And those people work their ass off for that pay.
oh for sure, like and
12-hour days hauling packages on
yeah,
the
yeah,
street.
and the
They don't have
details,
air conditioning or heat
yeah, yeah,
in those vehicles.
yeah, it was
So,
big deal,
yeah, I guess they're supposed to get air conditioners now, but,
yeah, yeah,
so anyways, I
yeah,
mean, Ford has been a crap investment. I mean, but this is what I was talking about
hmm
with Fabio. I should do a video on this. Like, if you can look historically, like not even most recent, but like the last 100 years, but I'm pretty sure it's like the top 5 or 10% of companies are responsible for like the vast majority of returns in the market.
hmm
This is
oh
not
yeah,
new.
no, no,
So, and this is just like this year was a microcosm of that was really evident. And I've shown like the Magnificent Seven
yep,
is all the gains this year, like all of it. I think if you did a equal weighted S&P, it maybe's up 2%. And then the market cap one's like 12. So
yeah,
it's kind of the way it always is. I don't think that's shock. And to imply that the other companies will catch up at some point, it's like no, it's not how. Nope. You
yeah,
have a small group of winners, and you want the whole basket because you don't know which ones are those.
yeah,
Why you would pick a mark like an S&P 500. So next year it might not be those 7, might be some others might pop out. I don't know.
mm,
But yeah, I mean the same thing with like car manufacturers, airlines, these companies are these are not great investments.
no, no,
So they have huge liability issues. They have warranty costs.
yep,
You have recalls.
yep,
They have to constantly do capex and invest in new products. Like
hmm
Tesla's in that bag too.
oh yeah, yeah,
Believe it or not, they can think it's a robot company all they want. Like Honda's got robots, so does Toyota.
yeah,
They're car
that's
companies. Like
yeah. Oh, that and also like I, part of me wonders how these car companies would be if they didn't financialize their businesses as much. Because I remember, like, you like one of the quotes he said to me that stuck out was, "You don't invest necessarily in auto companies. You can trade them, but investment, eh." And you made it very clear, like, do you even know what you're looking at when you value these companies? Because they look a whole lot more like financial service companies than they do boring factory manufacturing type companies.
That always killed me when they're like, "Oh, look at all this debt. Look at all
Yeah.
the debt." And I'm
Yep.
like, "Do you know what do you okay, the Caterpillar, John Deere, Ford, they all have finance wings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Debt not all debt's the same."
Hmm.
Like it's just in your life. A personal loan is not the same as a car loan,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, it's the same thing for a company.
Hmm.
Also anybody out there, if you call these companies legacy auto companies, I think you're a clown. I'll keep saying that. I should put that on merch. Like you're regurgitating Kathy Wood, even though you'll make fun of Kathy Wood, but then you'll just say crap that she says. I think you sound smart. You
Yeah.
sound you sound like an idiot. Like all these companies are 100 years old. Oh my god. Like, oh, Tesla's 10 year or 20 years old. Okay. But it's going to be legacy auto soon too, the way it's barely growing anymore. So,
Mhm.
but I say Thunderfoot put out a great video on the Cybertruck like 2 days ago.
Oh
He
boy.
doesn't always bash Elon.
Yep.
So it's like every like 2 or 3 videos is a Elon or cyber truck bashing or semi truck.
Hmm.
That guy's such a gem. I love that guy. But anyways, to digress. So that's all UAW.
Hmm.
So, any
One thing,
questions?
yeah, I was gonna say, out of uh just like one or two above that was Kale asking, like,
Oh
with
wow. Okay.
unions
Talk.
making gains, would that stop new factory development in the United States? I don't think necessarily so.
Oh, I
Uh,
saw that talking point where they said that they're just going to move everything to Mexico.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, they already tried that during NAFTA.
yeah.
They moved a large majority of their parts business
Hmm.
out of country, Canada and Mexico, because of NAFTA.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not something new. They've tried
Yep.
this before.
Hmm.
Um, but the talent's in the US, right?
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is where the
There's.
infrastructure is. So going to those countries, you carry other risks.
Yep.
So now you're not having if you call unions a risk, which I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Now you've got political risks and currency risks that you didn't have in the US.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is that is laughable to think you could
Mhm.
just take an entire automotive industry that's been in Detroit for, 100 years now.
Yeah.
You're just going to move that to some other country.
Yeah. There are logistical things to
Like,
consider as far as, like.
as dangerous as Chicago is with all
Yeah.
the crime,
Hmm.
it's still a hub of the financial sector.
Yeah.
They
Oh
haven't
yeah.
moved it. There's an
Yeah.
example of one, I'm sure everyone would love to move that works in, if your bank works in Chicago, because
Yep.
we have like New York State has jobs in Chicago, our
Hmm.
finance department.
Yeah.
So, and they're, you can't move these things.
No. No. That it's takes a whole lot to move them for sure. Yeah. Yep.
No, Buffett comment. Oh no. Wait, oh, that wasn't me. I didn't make a
No.
Buffett.
No. No. Yeah. 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 Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Fisher Boy does have a fun
Oh
little
yeah.
question. Yeah, about that. I don't know if we can cover it in this live stream, but uh, Fisher Boy, I'm right there with you as an old student going through accounting and looking at
Well, right.
federal jobs.
I think right now they have open
Yeah.
like a interview pool or whatever for the IRS revenue agents that
Hmm.
came out of that massive bill that the Republicans are just trying to get rid of now. They're trying to hire thousands of revenue agents.
Hmm.
You can just apply and then they just put you into the basket of
Yeah.
applications if they're going to hire. So
I
and then
do have
you
some.
pick your location, which is so weird. You pick
Mhm.
where you want to work or where you're willing to work, I guess, even
Yeah.
though like it's mostly remote work or can be
Uh,
remote work.
this is usajobs.gov, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have some, like, additional tidbits that I was passed on through my network, but again, I don't know if that would be within the purview of this live stream. But worst case scenario, we'll revisit it maybe. Yeah, yeah, yep.
Let's
Worst
see.
case, worst case.
I can see why Fabio makes people put his name. It is way easier if people.
Yeah, if you add, yeah,
if they at you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Legacy Auto is too much trade.
Good old Dex.
Yep. But that was one of my best trades of COVID was Ford.
So I remember
because like it was priced that it was going bankrupt.
Yep.
Which you could argue at the time it was kind of on that trajectory, the old CEO.
Yeah.
So the turnaround was the new plan with John Farley.
Yeah.
And some people have said like he's failed or what. I'm like, I
don't
I disagree with you completely. I think he had same thing with Intel. With Geisler. You know, it's seemingly impossible task. And even if they get 60% results, that's incredible.
No, it's
with these companies. So like the turnaround, I mean, if the Ford F-150 was the recovery play. And he did it. That was what he leaned on, was the branding of the truck.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the cars and you know, they've done what they had to survive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's an investment. Just like a lot of companies. SoFi. It's like you can like the product. You don't have to buy the stock, but you can like the product. You know, I love that I can just click in 5 minutes and get a personal loan through SoFi. I've done it twice and then paid them back later. But like, what are they checking? They give me money in like 4 or 5 days. That's great for me as a customer.
Yeah.
But I'm a little concerned if I was an investor, why they're giving people money so fast.
Oh, for sure.
That's concerning. Like I've had personal loans in the past through other banks. It takes like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they check more stuff. Like, so they actually check like records and ask me for things and financials. SoFi's just like, yeah, man, 100 grand, go for it. You have to believe they're doing something. I don't know, checking. I don't think they're checking a lot personally, based on the allowance for credit losses I've been seeing.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't checking shit. Like, anyways.
Yep. Here we are.
UAW's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what's next? Do you want to do Disney?
Sure.
Disney.
Yeah.
Let me pull Disney.
Yeah, fair disclosure, I have a tiny position in Disney.
It's more interesting than Realty Income, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. But
all right. Disney.
Okay. Disney.
Let's pull up. We called it. Well, it was coming I think 2 weeks ago. We didn't know they were going to do it, but Hulu or Comcast or Disney could initiate this. So I was like, of course, one of them is going to initiate this.
Yeah, one of them.
So, at the end of October, this was part of the original 2019 deal. Because originally, I don't know if people remember now, I think it was like Comcast, AT&T, Fox, and I think there was another player. It was like 4 or 5 players owned a share of Hulu. When they started it, and then over time, they've been buying each other out a bit. So they ended up with apparently AT&T still had a stake in it though.
Oh,
it wasn't just Comcast and Disney.
Hey, good for them.
But they're initiating the sale now, which I guess they're gonna go through the process next year. So it's not immediate because Disney doesn't have the cash.
No.
So they can't pay. They can't pay with cash. They're not Microsoft.
Yeah, it takes time.
I was hoping they wouldn't use debt to initiate this, which maybe a little, but so far it's going to be some convoluted put call contract strategy. I don't know. They're going to use options to sell the damn stock, I guess.
Oh dear God. But why?
So here okay, can you read this or is it too small?
No, there we go.
This was funny article to read this. So under the put call agreement, as of January 2024, Disney can acquire Comcast's share, right? Yep. So at the base, so they're going to have like each side, I think it is going to have an like a bank evaluate how much Hulu's worth. Yep. If they can't come to an agreement, like if the two prices are too different, they'll have a third bank come in, and then they'll use the average of like 2 of the 3. This is like crazy. Boy. Only lawyers could make this crap up. Like
good old lawyers.
The base valuation is this. That's what they agreed to, I think, in 2019. So, and then they have to, because Disney can't buy Comcast outright, so they're going to use like contract options. I guess Gabe would love this. He would be in heaven. They're going to use contracts to get premium to buy it over time or some crap. and then they got to pay AT&T still owns a share.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, this is what lawyers are for, and
Yeah.
investment bankers, I'm sure, are drooling over this. We'll
Yeah.
get their piece. So
Wouldn't
I'm
it be-
sure we'll find more out because it's still it's probably still being negotiated. But
Wouldn't it be hilarious though if these option contracts could be like unloaded onto the open market? Like I'm just trying to imagine some like Wall Street bets
Yeah.
person. being
maybe
like,
honestly, how could if they're on the market, why can't someone buy them?
yeah. I mean, that being said, though, I imagine these being like like you said, connected with banks, tied up, and not available for retail. But
So I'm like, so
I'm just
it's like I'm
chuckling.
thinking in my head, I'm like, so Comcast is just gonna do
Yeah.
call options until at some point they collect the premium and then they give the shares to Disney at some point. Like I don't know, it's some weird deal like that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Well, I mean, they don't have the money, so I was like, I'd rather them not dilute me as a
Yeah.
shareholder, and I'd rather them not take
Fair.
8.6 billion of debt.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a better way, but
Yeah.
I couldn't find anybody with good opinions about the advantages of them owning Hulu outright. But it's so early on. I'm sure we'll see it later.
Yeah.
Like, do you like to me? I'm thinking, well, they can do what they want with it now since they own it.
Yeah.
They didn't own it outright, so they could change it.
Mhm.
Because they're in this weird state, like unlike like Netflix, like you can just put a show on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
They can put any show they want on Netflix, or it doesn't matter. It's a Netflix brand. They put the little red thing on it. They
Yeah.
buy shows from Korean producers or European companies, whatever.
Mhm.
But like Disney is a brand, right?
Yeah.
There's an expectation of a Disney show on Disney Plus.
Yep.
And they've said the Disney brand, the family brand, blah blah.
Mhm.
So then now I'm thinking, well, now they can expand into maybe non-Disney content more.
Yeah.
Now that they own Hulu. So
Yep.
now they can, if that was their idea, we're going to have like the adult streaming production, and then we're going to have the family-oriented Disney, the legacy brand of the the House of Mouse.
Yeah. No, that to me that makes sense. Like we can argue anyone can argue over the pricing and the structure of the deal, but like by and large, it seems like it makes sense. Like I don't hate it. And based off of like recent price movement, it doesn't seem
So
like
like people have wanted like different Star Wars shows,
Yeah.
like a Vader show,
Mhm.
right? I don't think you could have put a Vader show on Disney, like
No. Yeah,
real
yeah.
Sith Vader show that like adults want. Like
Yep.
what was the one that everyone liked? Andor, right?
Yeah, there was,
So, like
there was
a more adult themed Star Wars show. Maybe you move that's on Hulu, and then
Yeah.
you could have the more kid friendly versions of some of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. So this might give them more, production value
I
with
think
their
so.
brands. They can
Yeah.
expand what they're doing, their tentacles, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe like if Iger lets the creative people be creative, right?
Now here's to hoping. Fingers crossed. But
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't know AT&T still had a piece of this until
Yeah.
so AT&T has a stake in this. They're going to get paid.
Yep.
Maybe that's bullish for AT&T.
Maybe they're able to repay the long-term debt.
I mean, AT&T crushed it on that freaking when they divested of Discovery and Warner Brothers and all that.
Oh yeah.
So much debt on that company.
Yep.
So far, I haven't really benefited them a lot, but
No.
short term. So yeah, we'll see. Using spreads to I know I've never heard of this. I want Fabio to read this. We don't have a lot of detail, I don't think yet.
No.
Once the
no,
more
it's
detail
not
comes
fun.
out, like
Yeah.
someone that knows like options really like what the I've never heard of a company selling. I mean, I guess you put out the contracts, the premiums generated, and then you just wait until the transaction of the shares being called away.
Yeah.
So it's just a time issue, right?
I
Because you don't know
can
how
see so.
long it'll take to finish this transaction.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not like that, but I don't know. There will be so many fees.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
who's the bank? Who's the bank that's going to run this thing? Because they're going to get fees like crazy, like
Yep.
to run this thing. Maybe it's Goldman. I don't know. But maybe that's the play on this. The bank that's running this weird the arbitrage on the arbitrage merger. But what time is the call?
Started about half an hour ago. Big Pharma Shill.
This is a call, I
Yeah.
guess.
I guess, I don't know.
I'm debating if I should put live stream on the videos, because I guess, does it really matter?
Hard to
And
say.
what do people like not want to watch it if it's a live stream like a week later? Maybe I should just label it the topics. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I say whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you do lay out the topics pretty well, I'd say.
So overall, like,
Yeah.
the market, I mean, it's kind of flattish.
Yeah. Yep.
So I had my nice run here. I got in at like I think I got in like here.
Very nice.
Ran up. I felt like
Yep.
king of the world. Then I'm a clown.
No,
Now we're
oh,
going back.
It's like, all right.
I mean, I think it's some shape or form of like a 120, 125 stock.
Yeah.
As of right now. I don't know. I don't evaluate stuff all the time. So.
No, and even then, like if someone told me like, hey, Disney shares are 120, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to short it anytime too soon.
Like, but like with a discount, I haven't really decided what kind of discount. Like, if it got to 100, I'd have to think about it. I might look for the door.
Yeah.
100, 10. I don't know.
I guess it would depend on how fast it ran up and for why.
I don't think it's gonna. It could
Yeah.
take 2-3 years. It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Disney.
But I think this is good so
Yeah.
far. I don't
Yep.
know, like, but I think if there's a path where this will be really cool for them with Hulu being theirs now.
Yeah.
If they reformatted it or something, we'll see. I'd like to see them do like like put The Simpsons over on Hulu now. I think it was on Disney Plus.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, start segregating now and be very specific. Disney shows, Disney movies, Hulu stuff. And then you can put all the garbage content from Disney Plus on Hulu. Save the really quality movies and Pixar for the Disney Plus. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe. But that's probably why like HBO got the Discovery stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have the HBO products, right?
Yep.
But then they called the streaming service Max.
Yep.
And someone's like, well, it's because they don't want to sully the HBO name by putting it on like My 900-Pound Life shows. So that's why they called it Max, not HBO Max. But so it's going to be two different ways because nobody else is doing this, right?
Yeah.
Everyone else.
Yep.
There's a reason Disney should keep them separate, though.
I think so.
Because
I agree.
You wouldn't say any other streaming service has a brand like Disney.
Yeah.
Where there's like specific shows and stuff you could. I can't.
Yeah. No, it's
all the other streaming services, they just buy shows to put on their networks.
Yeah.
Like, they go out, find a production that's in development, and they buy it, the rights to it. Like in Korea, or like Halle Berry's boxing movie, she shopped that around. So all the other ones, they just buy stuff like that Tom Hanks Greyhound movie. Apple didn't produce. Apple just bought the rights to that as Tom Hanks produced it.
Yep.
Which is awesome war movie. I'm sure you must. Did you see it?
Which one?
Greyhound.
Greyhound. I didn't, but I want to. Yeah.
Fucking good. So good. I'm not a big Navy movie person, but that was an awesome movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that one definitely looked the part for sure.
Any other Disney thoughts? So,
still more moves to be made. I think. I think it's really, really fun to hear either Disney shareholders or people on the sidelines say what Disney should do, because there's multiple things. But I think this step though is one of those that's in the reasonable decisions.
But I like the savings and costs that I can see he's trying to do, and I think their cruise line is very profitable. I think that's definitely where they should be the most intensive with their capex.
Yeah.
Their bookings is crazy. I think they're 98 or 99% booked, like 6 months out or a year out, I think it was. But they don't. I wish they would segregate the parks, and the cruise line is not segregated, which kind of sucks. I really wish they would segregate those.
Same here.
They don't though. But maybe at some point they will if the cruise line gets bigger. I would love to see them split that up and actually show the differences in the margins and stuff.
Yeah, no, same here. I think that would be really cool because
my sneaking suspicion is the cruise lines are just cash cows like you wouldn't believe.
I would suspect so as well. Like that, especially since like the cruise line industry, like right now, it seems like the lame ducks are still lame ducks and just trying to plod along.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think there's a way for Disney to take market share, and then as things normalize, so to speak, Disney's like, oh, look at all this cash cow.
They did buy
Yeah.
some of the boats because during COVID, so these boats get built at docks and like a lot of them are in Europe.
Yep.
And then the cruise lines just bid on them, right? So during COVID, a lot of those boats that were under contract, like the companies were like, nope, no more boat. They just stopped. They were like, we don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like Carnival and they just scrapped. They
Mm-hmm.
scrapped boats before their designated end of service. You know,
Yep.
they went into panic mode. So I think Disney scooped up some of those boats because they've had their fleet's gotten bigger
Yeah.
pretty fast.
Yep.
So if they got him for a good deal, I mean,
Yeah. Why not?
with their bookings right now,
Yeah.
it might
You
be a dark horse for them.
got the
if they
the
can
brand
stop
power.
wasting money on Disney Plus, this
Yeah.
might shine.
Yeah. Got the brand power and the loyal customer base. I'd say so.
Anyway, all right. Next up, what we got? Let me pull it over. I have to segregate the tabs, otherwise it's so many tabs. I literally have like 5 pages of tabs. Otherwise, okay.
Definitely can tell the homework has been done. There we go.
Like an hour to do this.
Yeah.
I can see why LaFufu just throws on CNBC on his
Let's go.
how much money he got paid to just sit on Twitch and you know, stream CNBC, and then he'll pull up his crayon charts and then he'll scream, let's go.
I don't even know. I don't even know, man. Like
should I play it? I think I have his where is it?
I was pretty nervous about.
Well, I'll quickly mention meta results are out.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's going on the website.
Yeah. Mike, just to go back to you, I mean,
what's going on
it's
here?
been a mixed bag, I would say, in terms of
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
And we're going to go to Julia Corson because we do have those meta results.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Beating on the top and bottom of $4.39. Also coming in.
I know I'm gonna get screen captured. I don't care.
And it tanked like it tanked after he did that too.
I'm sorry, like I'm just trying to think of like buttoned up people, like be they investors or traders, like come on, really? That's what we do.
like
you do that after the fact, after you've locked in the money. But
it's just the clown show. It's entertainment. I mean, that's the only reason he's entertaining. Because what else are you gonna say about him?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just had this happen. I didn't like get up. Let's go. Oh, HVAC. Oh my god. Every day I'm just screaming at work. Who's this guy? Yeah, train. Every train spot. Oh shit.
HVAC.
HVAC. Oh man.
Good lord. Yeah, that's
so okay. We got blast through this one because
this one.
I really have no interest in buying realty income.
Neither do I.
But it's very every
it's
dividend.
Popular.
It's very popular. I've looked at it over time because it's a big dividend. It's the monthly dividend company.
Yep.
And it's just like just boring as hell. I don't know. You can look at like Max chart and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't see anything so intriguing. I mean, if you bought it like
forever ago, way back when.
But even then, okay, it was $11 in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
This is my whole thing with REITs, and I keep and I people like always want to fight me on this. I'm like, you don't hit grand slams with REITs. You hit like doubles. I don't know how else to phrase it.
Yeah,
like you're not crushing the market with a REIT. Like, but then people say, well, they've outperformed equities. I'm like, oh, well, I guess if you take taxes if you take taxes out of it, but like I've looked at so many REITs because if you're a dividend person, you look at REITs because they pay high yield. I just like I look at this. I'm like, I don't see anything that intriguing
No, same
It's
here.
long-term holding. I mean, my best performing REIT is CubeSmart. So, and it barely was beating the S&P 500 for a while. So like this is my REIT. Like I got this back here.
Yep.
Yeah, sometime in like early 2019 is when I mostly bought this.
Hey.
And I'm sure if I charted it with the S&P, I'm sure it's about the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's down a little bit.
Yeah, if we go total return, probably have a fighting shot, but
Yeah, let's see. Okay,
yeah.
chart. Oh, the S&P always pulls up.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
old
do a
S&P.
3-year.
Yep.
I mean, yay.
Yep.
5-year. Is there any
Yeah.
time period it beats? Like, no.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm a lot of my REIT investments are gone now.
Yeah.
I just kind of sold them over time.
Yeah. I'll own up to it. Like when it comes to REITs, I'm just banging rocks over here. So it's yeah, and they're there if you really want to. Just maybe you have an edge with size. Maybe size is a
Yeah.
legitimate thing.
I had a lot of I was really into the warehouse REITs for a while because you could see they were being built like crazy.
Yeah.
You could see the expansions of Amazon warehouses everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And stores were being closed, Kmart's were gone, Sears were gone, so you could
Yep.
see where things were going. But then Amazon came out and said they were reducing spending on warehouses, and this was like just a year or two ago, I think. I'm like, I basically just bailed on all my warehouse REITs at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if Amazon's pulling back on warehousing cost, like,
that moves.
Okay, well, who's going to buy these warehouses for these REIT warehouse companies? So, whatever. But what's interesting, so I don't know, like realty income is like struggling to grow.
Just so big.
But they're so big, so they have to make these giant deals. And what are they, $45 billion at this point? And we're not saying they're going to go out of business. It's like, this is just a matter of, is it worth holding? I mean, they're so big, 33 billion. They were like 45 billion market cap. Yeah. And a lot of people are just like, well, it was at like $70, so it'll be back there someday. I hear like like that's what they say online. Same shit I hear about PayPal.
Dear
God.
God.
It was 150 at one point. So I'm like, I don't know. It might not, that might have been at the pinnacle of realty income. I don't know. Maybe it never goes back there.
Yeah.
But they're diluting the hell out of shareholders.
Yeah, it's to be expected with the REIT.
But
REITs.
like, look, it's accelerated.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, crazy accelerated. Stock analysis, actually, you can see then actually kind of shows it better.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if the perspective, like, because I imagine
you can see a general trend, and then recent history. You're just like, what the hell? Like, and it's obvious, in interest rates are going up, and they look at the cost of share issuance compared to the cost of debt when they make decisions on acquisitions.
Yeah.
So now, in a lot of cases, share issuance is a better funding source for them than debt was a few years ago. But it's crazy. Like, it's just hard to wrap your brain around when you're like, as a dividend growth investor. Like, I look for companies that are buying shares back slowly and responsibly over time.
Yeah.
And then here's these companies like rip 80s, Agri's issuing shares too. And so you try and look at like the free was FFO per share.
Oh yeah.
To see if they're being accretive, as they're diluting you, are you getting more value? So they got this Bellagio deal, which is I think it's strange. I've never seen Realty Income do a deal like this.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And if you read like the 10K, like you can go to the 10K, not the 10Q, and then you could read their investment strategy. It's like right at the beginning of any 10K, or you could read like what the strategy is, and the Bellagio deal doesn't make sense with what they're telling you in their filings is their investment strategy. To me, it doesn't seem like it. Like, they're the people that want steady, reliable, sustainable cash flows. It's right here. Demonstrated economic resilience. Casinos are not resilient. We just saw what happened during COVID.
Yeah.
So okay, they're not economically resilient. Dollar General was supposed to be resilient too, which is the biggest holding of Realty Income.
Oops.
That was what Realty Income made their money on. They bought highly profitable, sustainable cash flow in good or bad economy businesses. Go look at their portfolio. It's 7-Elevens, Dollar Generals, convenience stores, stuff that you would think through good and bad times people would use in America. So if I tell you that, and then you all of a sudden they're buying huge chunks of a casino, I was like, this is strange. This is just a strange deal. For them. I asked Fabio, I'm like, I feel like if they want to do this stuff, I think they should just split in half. So take your boring traditional investments, the gas stations and that stuff, the sustainable dividend stuff that you've always done, and then split off the other properties if you want to go do more aggressive, interesting investments in like casinos and stadiums or I don't know, water parks or something. I almost feel like they should split, give investors the choice of which one you want, because this is kind of a different direction. I don't know if that's going to, if they kind of are flat and if the stock keeps going down, I don't know if they're going to get that push at this size. So we'll see. But other than that, it's just like this new deal. It is accretive, I guess. So they're going to get, the Spirit Realty. These bad boys.
Yep.
So Spirit Realty. Oh, Spirit. I've never heard of them. Never heard of this goddamn REIT. So I thought I knew them well. I don't know this one. But so we look at like, here's some, where is it? Here's the portfolio. Okay.
Yep.
So
Lifetime.
Do you see okay, who was the guy bashing us? Investment grade is not a thing. Or I'm like, what the heck? They put in their, I don't know.
Yeah.
The presentation say investment grade properties. Is that an actual like term of in banking or whatever that clown was trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm like, they call them that. I don't know. Is it valuable to you as an investor? That's up to you to decide. But it looks like this has, properties that would make sense for Realty Income. Like I'm looking, the Dollar Tree makes sense.
Yeah.
The BJ's is not investment grade. I know that from Agri.
Oof.
So this is kind of meh to me.
Yeah.
The fitness centers, meh. I like not enough Home Depots. Is JPM a building company, construction or something?
Let me double check because I didn't get that far.
Car washes, fine. Dollar Generals. So we're adding more Dollar Generals. That's a big thing I noticed. More Dollar Trees. So we're kind of already, that's Realty Income's thing. So,
GPM, based off that logo, it seems like they're financial services, maybe.
Oh, look who they're on the board. Agri's right there.
Or wait a minute. No, this is a holding co that like has different companies in it. Like, it seems like it's convenience stores and the like, basically. So,
okay,
it's fine enough.
Fine enough.
Distance.
So Spirit. So they're paying with share dilution.
Yep.
So Spirit Realty will receive shareholders 0.762 shares of Realty Income for every share. So if you look at the AFFO of what is it? Spirits is like 4.14. So times the 0.76, you get $3.15 of accretive or value in AFFO. So basically, it is technically they're paying less than what they're going to get back.
Yeah.
They're paying less out than what they'll return. But to me, it's like meh.
Yeah, that's
it's not like, oh my god, they're doubling their value.
Yeah, because I believe like earlier on in the presentation for Spirit, they said like BBB for the ratings on the real estate. So like if it was like higher quality,
BBB. Okay, so
like
they're
BB, but
scraping the barrel a bit on this one.
it possibly. I mean, maybe there is value up in them hills, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think they're just scraping for growth at this point through mergers. They're just buying stuff. I mean, the Varit deal, I would say was a bad deal. That's probably the biggest reason the stock's been depressed recently. That was not a good purchase. And then they had to spin off the office assets. So you had to buy office assets just to spin them off. Like, that doesn't sound like a good deal. And the stock's been getting crushed since they did that deal. Then the Bellagio, then this. It's like back to back to back. I bet you the shareholders would rather them just pay the damn debt down at this point, honestly. So here's their debt. Speaking of, that's a good segue. So
there we go.
So here's their debt on their 10K. Some of it they have. There's a lot to look at with Realty Income. This is one of the reasons I never wanted to get into it. It's a massive company, and there's so much to look at in their financial statements. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, Agri is so much easier to understand than this. It's just way smaller. But I mean, you can see some of the they don't have a lot now. I mean, you can see some 2024. A lot of it's pushed out 2027, 28, 30, 32. So there's nothing impending. It doesn't look like. No. I don't know, but I think they're just flailing in the wind for growth. Growth, my oath, is what it seems with these deals. And I don't know. I have seen a REIT buy shares back. I have seen it before. They do it. So they don't always dilute to craziness.
No.
I did see one, and they specifically said they didn't have any good acquisitions, and they wanted to be conservative, so they started buying shares back. They can buy shares back, and they can reduce their debt. These things don't have to just keep chugging along, being debt issuing, share diluting machines. But then people, like, the idea is they're using those two, and they're creating value because they're playing the spreads. So I don't know. I find this meh. There's so many other things I would buy than Realty Income.
Same here. That's because if you really wanted the monthly income, like T-bill and chill, maybe, like, just
At this
depending
point,
on the timelines, money market and chill.
Why not just go get? So what's the dividend? 6. You could go get a money market account at Schwab for like 5.5, I think, or 5.3.
Thereabouts.
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I think BTI is way more appealing than this.
Yeah.
British Tobacco.
Yep.
If you really need yield. So
just
but I don't know how they turn this around. Like, this acquisition machine they're doing right now is just very odd. There's so many just back-to-back mergers.
Very
Agri specifically being patient. Which is what I like about them. That's why that's like the only REIT I have right now that I'm buying still. Which I knew about them a while ago. So I knew about them. Like, I know like all the REITs, so it was like a phase. All right. Nobody has any questions. What the hell do I know about anything?
The only questions I've seen consistently was Michael asking about Norfolk Southern.
Did you post the Bobo meme? Oh, I saved it. Oh, should I post it in my community tab? I should.
There we go.
That was excellent. Yeah, his ex when Cat got crushed.
Oh no.
I said I wanted Did you see it?
I don't think I did. I'm not sure.
I wanted a sad Bobo in an excavator. So... oh my god.
We definitely a whole bunch of creative people around.
I can probably pull it up. Maybe I'll pull up later if you're talking. Caterpillar I don't want to talk about Caterpillar right now, actually.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't have to.
I'm not interested yet.
We're like, this like, your content really hasn't been like buy and sell alerts. Like, it's not even really necessarily pitches, just what you think. Like,
for the most part.
Yeah.
I think most meme stocks you should just stay away from when people talk about them a lot. But then I'm talking about stocks. That's kind of doing exactly what I tell you not to do. If you're listening to me, you should tell me to fuck off. But
oh no, it's fine. Like, I like to think you're more on the more reasonable side of things. So
I mean, I'll buy SoFi. I'll buy. I haven't bought Palantir, but I'd buy it. Speculate it. I'm not long term on any of these clown stocks, but
you've been on record before that you can and have and will trade. Like,
so
nothing wrong with that.
Where is it? I put a PowerPoint in here. Oh no.
Oh yes, yeah. we're on to this topic.
Yeah, I had a PowerPoint tab. Oh, here it is. So I was looking. Basically, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, where are we in the semi cycle, the semi fab process, cycle, because a lot of them have gotten kind of beat up recently.
Yeah.
So, like, this was just some notes I created just quickly. But like Texas Instrument, so these are like the recent companies in this space. Texas Instrument missed, guiding down, got killed. Intel revenue surprise up, they beat on earnings per share. However, their year-on-year revenue is down. They're guiding up. They're becoming more profitable, is what they're trying to sell right now. So it's not like their revenue's their revenues got crushed like the last year. So now you cut a lot of costs. So now they're increasing their earnings per share. They're talking about efficiencies. They're a big selling feature that I noticed. AMD revenue beat. It was up year to year, which a lot of them were down from previous year. So AMD was still strong. Earnings per share was in line. But then they offered weaker guidance fourth quarter. They talked about slowdowns specifically in their gaming segment, not their not the data centers, more the gaming side of their business. So I think the stock just kind of floated sideways on earnings because it is kind of like they kind of in line. Nothing interesting about what they said. They are projecting more. Margins are going up if their guidance for fourth quarter here be pretty good if they can hit that. TSM, which I don't really cover TSM ever, so just briefly, revenue got beat to hell. They're down, way down year on year, projecting down. Kind of doom and gloomy, but people seem to still love the company. I mean, if I go on here, people seem to love them still. Bye. I'm not buying them, so I don't want to get into it too much.
That's fine.
So some stuff to look at. You can pull like engineering sites and stuff, looking at like like how they're doing. So here's like silicon wafer production I was looking at. So you can see a lot of the you kind of get the feel like a lot of these projections are like this year's the worst. We're going to start coming out of the down cycle next year, and then by 2025, like we're tendies with production on chips and stuff. So I don't know. And then so you can see, take these for what you will. So that's wafer production. So where's the other one? Here's fab equipment spending. You can see the same idea though. 2023 down, projecting upwards next year. A lot of them say like the beginning of next year will still be down, and they're thinking ramp up in a lot of ways. So I don't know. It's interesting. So you're getting some common themes to some degree. I mean, we don't know for sure. So my thought was I would just want to play the field because I really, my friend owns Van Eck. I have a friend that owns, which is, what is it? The Van Eck semi one. I'll get it. What's the ticker for that one? Do you remember? SMH. Yeah, Van Eck semi. It's been one of the most successful ETFs, and I've always kind of like, I missed it. I have like SCHG's done well, but like this is a very specific tailored to this segment, like technology. I mean, it's up like 200% in 5 years. So I might start because I haven't deployed my Roth. So I was like, I like the thesis on the cybersecurity companies Andrew and me talk about. And this would be the other one where I don't have any ability to pick a winner. So it's like a 30 company ETF basket. So it's kind of interesting experiment almost because I've not really bought these tailored ETFs. But like, so the one I would look at for now, I've looked at a few of them so far. I don't know yet.
I was gonna say because I think there was some sort of SOX that also was
there's a whole bunch of these SOX semi companies. So this one it's got it's US chip fab producers,
Yep.
which is I don't want ASML, TS. I don't want the foreign ones. So I just want US. That was what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I think this is equal weighted, if I remember.
Okay.
And then obviously you can see the ones. It's not market cap weighted because there was one I looked at that was market cap weighted where it's like Nvidia's like 40. You can't really do market cap weighted for these types of things because if you do, like 2 of them will be like half the freaking basket. So you have to look at a different type of weighting for these type of tailored ETFs. But I kind of like what I'm seeing. I'm still reading through the prospectus a bit. But I like what I see, like just looking at the weightings of like the top 10.
Okay.
When I looked through them all, because I went to ETF.com and I started just kind of perusing through, which is it's such a great tool for people because you can find a company you like, and then you can see what what ETFs hold it. It can lead you to different things.
Yeah.
So, I like the weightings to some degree. This one does have TSM because they started North American.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But Qualcomm, Micron, Nvidia, Texas Instrument, AMD, Broadcom, Intel. So I'm still looking. So
I'm just wondering, like, what besides what you've mentioned earlier, as far as like say geography, what are the other things that would like immediately be like, no, I'm avoiding this ETF?
I mean, expense ratios.
Expense ratio.
These types of ones, the 0.4 to 0.6 expense I've seen. Okay. I'm not anything more than that. Like if we're getting to like 0.8 or more, it's like, no, I'm out.
Alrighty.
But then you got to understand like the weightings because it's it depends on how they weight things. So here's another one.
Yeah.
Or is this the same one? This is the same one.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch. There's this one's a different
one.
weighting.
Yeah.
So I think this one's an equal weighted.
Yep.
Because you can see they're all almost identical.
Oh yeah.
There's different weightings they can take. They can have they could have market cap weightings up to a specific percentage too. I don't know. I like to do like these type of investments in my Roth now. Like I don't hold individual except for REITs, but these are kind of interesting.
No, I think
because you have like you have the broad funds in the mutual or the 401k. So but these are this isn't like a trade. Like this would be like I'm in. Like AI chips are coming, so I'm not picking a winner. I just want to play the whole field. So
I think the timing might be closer to okay because like stereotypically people have said semiconductor companies they're cyclical, and what do you do with cyclical companies? Don't buy when the PE is low, buy when the PE is high. So timing seems like it's at least either there or closer to there or somewhere around there.
So we talked about AGCO 2 weeks ago. So I already spit. Yeah, I mean, AGCO did really good on earnings. So they've been beating on earnings pretty well, actually. So I don't think they beat on revenue, but they beat on EPS. But they got to 12% margins, if I remember.
Ooh.
Which is really impressive.
Yeah, I was gonna say
now you're in John Deere territory.
Yeah, that territory.
That was John Deere's advantage. They were always at like 12. So if AGCO can maintain that, or improve on that, I mean, at what is it, 7 PE? I mean, geez, stock could double.
Yeah, that's win for the good guys here. Because
it's always easier to pull stuff up on stock analysis, even though it's so because it's free, but you can't trust any of these things.
No, these aggregators.
You have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see their profit margins, pretty strong, 13%ish.
Yeah.
So I mean, AGCO always struggled in that department next to John Deere.
But
this doesn't have the new ones, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But You know, if the tide is a turning,
Yeah.
well, I don't see why not.
Strong made video of Intel manipulating their earnings.
I didn't see that one. I need to. Like I like
They
distinctly
do
remember that
adjust
one.
the cost. They must have adjusted certain costs.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
That thing, like, I am not so like I would if I got to hold Intel in a basket with other companies, so be it.
Hmm.
I'm not betting on them. Like, I get the play.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see why people are so excited about it in the
Yeah.
market. There's so much risk with what they're doing.
Yeah.
They still have to build out all these fabs. They have fabs being built like all over the world right now.
Yeah.
And then you're pegging on these job cuts and efficiency increases.
Yeah.
And then AI chips, they haven't even gotten in that market yet. But
Yep. Yeah.
but and then the fabless idea, they need customers.
Hmm.
They have to get customers, right, to want
Yep.
to build their chips there, not with TSM. So
Yep.
um
Yeah.
who is here? No, I didn't. I gotta find it.
Yeah. It'll happen in time, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a special dividend. So they have like a small quarterly, and then they're doing a once a year dividend, depending on what they want to do with their finances. If they have an idea for what they're gonna, if they have a good capex idea, then they'll just do a lower special dividend. So Packer does it too. They do the same thing. Sure, done near showing. I mean, I guess the traditional investment idea is like trains and stuff.
Yeah. I
But
guess so.
I mean, this is partially the semis is a play on onshoring,
Yeah.
because for this to work, we're bringing back chip production, right? If I'm
Yeah.
buying the U.S. semi producers,
Yeah. No, that is very true. That is very, very
so
true.
this is partially an onshoring thesis at this
Yeah.
point. Like, I've only owned AMD and Texas Instrument, and recently KLA's only like a year in,
Mhm.
so I don't have tons of exposure here. MCK.
MCK. I think that's McKesson. I want to say they're a distributor for pharma, med tech, med supplies is what I want to say, if I remember correctly.
It's up like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Is this like a Abbott Labs type thing?
Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, let me take a look at charts, because did they get punched in the face around the same time as the whole like GLP-1 craze took off? Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe I'm too far away from it and am looking at a bad stock chart. I was just using Google because I'm being dumb. But
Cardinal Health? That's an interesting comparison.
yeah,
No, I don't know. I have not
yeah.
looked at them.
My guess and suspicion is they're probably viewed as quality, probably have some sort of premium. Maybe that premium got eroded a little bit, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, true. Is like onshoring the most pure onshoring play would be like railroads. You would assume more factories, more trains. The only thing I didn't like about trains is that if you believe that semis will get more efficient, like let's say with hybrid engines or a hydrogen cell,
Mhm.
so then semis get cheaper,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, okay, well, why wouldn't you, if it's cheaper or close to the same price as a railroad for freight, why wouldn't you use the semis?
Yeah, that is a good point. Like the only
And
other play,
then the other part, well, so then if that happens, then what's left to the trains? It's going to be like hazardous material removal.
yeah,
Because that
in
stuff
which
you literally
Yeah.
can't put on a truck. There's
Yep.
certain chemicals, I don't even know if you can put them on a truck on the roads.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Norfolk Southern when the trains blew up in
Mhm.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Nasty chemicals in manufacturing that blew up or caught fire. So I don't know. I've never owned a train company. It's like, yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
guess warehouses too is the other idea.
yeah. The only other one I could think of is like a road construction company.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, because I think there was that ticker symbol road unoriginally. Might be one of the other ones, but that being said, though, like the more I did my digging, there were a fair amount of like private companies that are important enough that you should probably know of, but getting the details on them because they're private companies might be a pain in the rear. Because I'm just the one person shop over here. I'm
Yeah,
I
there's
just bang rocks together and hope.
this one. Yeah, so like this
Yep.
was one.
Yep.
Infrastructure construction companies in the United States.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a way to play onshoring.
Yeah.
But like you said, a lot of the companies in this space are private.
Yeah.
There's not so many publicly traded construction companies.
Yep. So,
I was looking at one, like it was like a Goa or something. It was in Texas. It was a spin-off from the train leasing company, the Trinity one we looked at once.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Maybe there's something there, but
Or I mean the trucking companies themselves are a play on onshoring too.
yeah.
Old Dominion or
JB Hunt, I think, was one of the other ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's done well this year. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Every time I've looked at this, it's expensive.
Yes.
Every time I've ever looked at Old Dominion to like add it, because I've kind of always wanted to add it, but it's just like this company it's not cheap. It's never cheap. So I mean, look at that performance.
Yeah. Yep. If you were able to go way back when, like you're happy now. Happy enough.
Wait till it drops in half, Paul
Yeah.
says. It's like, okay, where?
Yeah.
Like, this is probably your biggest drop.
Yep.
Was it 350 to 260?
Yep.
I mean, that's all you got. It's not that big of a drop. So
no, grand scheme of things, no.
But I mean, I'm excited though about like KLA. Like I said, the equipment. I like the equipment business of semis. So if I did one of those ETFs, I don't think I'm going to get KLA or Lam Research in it.
Oh,
maybe. So I might look for one where I actually get that exposure. It is here. Okay.
Yeah. Winner.
So the one that and then I think Lam Research, I'd have to check. It's only 33 holdings. So there's a few others I'll look at, but there's not a ton of semi-specific ETFs. I found maybe 8 or 10.
How about cybersecurity, or do we not have time? Like, if we don't have time, that's fine. But
no, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
That's another idea, though.
Yep.
I think that's a better play on. But this is kind of playing AI 2 different ways. Take the semi field, and then also you take the cybersecurity field.
Yeah.
Or some people would say online, just buy NVIDIA. You could argue, which I guess we'll see if NVIDIA. Well, I would get NVIDIA anyways, right?
Yeah. No, if you got the ETF, yeah, you got the ETF. Like, why would you necessarily?
Everyone wants you to pick the winner. It's like, I don't know. Like, I want the winner in a basket.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes,
and I have I'm not electrical. I'm not in this space. I'm an auditor. I'm not a software developer.
No, that's
but you can see where things are going.
Yeah. If you're going to capture the muscle movement, this is one of the ways to do it. I mean, sure, technically you might have some losers, but
all you're doing, if you think about it, you're just increasing your allocation to these companies. So you're slightly adjusting.
Yeah.
If you paired like this with VTI, you're still an index person. You've just increased your weighting to these semi companies, let's say. Which I guess you're saying you're more efficient in the market, which you might be more efficient. I mean, semis have outperformed. So
besides that, like
my it's not just saying they're going to these companies will do well because of AI, but it's like, well, that end recently they've been beat up like crazy.
Yeah, and I'd say like the expense ratio, as long as, like you said, if it's within reasonable ranges, like you're paying the expense ratio to not do brain damage, which would be a crap ton of research for every single come on.
There's only so much I can look at. I work, have a house, kids and stuff, so I can't delve into everything.
Muscle movement ETF, again, within reason. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think that was it. Oh,
Yeah.
you had the AI. What did you want to?
Oh yeah, that. Basically, I don't know if you wanted to cover that one or not.
I don't have a ton to say, but
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is that there was recently a executive order on AI being regulated to a point, and the important thing to note though is that like the definition, because you know any sort of law or executive order definitions are important. Uh, the definitions that were proposed in that were seemed like they were more geared towards large language models, like a Chat GPT, basically. But from an investor standpoint, Department of Commerce and the NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, those will probably be like the biggest departments to look at as far as like regulation, to include Bureau of Industry and Security (BIS). So it seems like the structure of this executive order will lean heavily on those departments to give guidance on what definitions are and what guidelines or regulators will go with as far as that. So basically, this is me just saying, hey, people, just be careful out there, be safe, and also, if you have any thoughts and plays on this, here are the organizations to take a look at for things to come, as far as like definitions and how things play out. Because this is just the preliminary move. Things will be coming down the track, and if you're able to look at things and understand them, good on you. Be safe out there. That's basically it. The other one, of course, is national or Homeland Security. Homeland will also have some leeway and wiggle room on what they play around with as far as regulation goes. But
so he's tagging somebody to run this, not himself.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to have those awkward where he drags all the CEOs into the White House for, I'm sure, a riveting conversation.
No, instead I imagine it'll be, again, these various departments, they'll
Although they said they were going to do crypto legislation. How many times have they gone on CNBC
yeah. Oh yeah.
to say they have legislation and then it
Yeah.
just dies?
Yeah.
It's always such a bummer. Like that's
Yeah.
one thing that everyone's begging them to put out, and we can't even get that done. But, and they're saying too with AI, they'd like regulation. But I think maybe that they just say that.
Yeah. Now this one, I think like it sets a framework at least that the ball's in play here. Like the ball is moving on this, and how it shakes up, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this favors smaller people and hurts bigger ones. Maybe this helps bigger ones and hurts smaller ones. Again, too early to tell. But at least with me having tried to read through this, I've at least pointed people towards a hopefully okay direction. So
Mhm.
that's the value add that I wanted to come with.
Yeah, Michael's really interested in railroads now.
Yes, he is really interested in Norfolk Southern.
No, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
Could be something.
I don't have anything bad to say. I think railroads is better than utility companies.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
I think
easily.
it's a fine investment. It's just,
Yeah.
I've never liked like companies that are restricted on what like they can't build any more railroads. It's always kind of bugged me. Like I'm aware that they charge more over time, but it's like
Yeah.
they can't grow. Like they can't grow in the way you want, like per se.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So
if they can grow, then at what point do they become overbuilt? Then you got to worry about that, which hurt
they can
railroads.
handle the battery weight.
Yeah.
Yep. Although they could do hydrogen cell. Cummings is developing a hydrogen cell truck or a train.
Hmm.
The same thing though. Weight doesn't matter necessarily for a train.
Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah,
it'll
hybrid
be interesting.
trains. They
Yep.
have those.
Yep. Interesting developments.
Yeah, I don't hate. It's an interesting investment.
Yeah.
Anyways, the only thing I had left.
Hmm.
So, okay, let me pull this over. No,
May
work.
need to be a different share screen. Or yeah, good old Estee. Oh, there we go.
All right, there it is.
That's beautiful. It should be a community post.
Hey, awesome work. Look, he got it like
Yeah.
behind the glass.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to do that.
No, neither do
Looks like it's literally behind the glass. That's sweet. This was on Caterpillar earnings day. As I get wrapped, I'm like, I need a crying Bobo to soothe me. He did a Bobo on a tractor too, smoking a cigar, which was funny. But, oh, Bobo.
Yep. World
This is
runs
probably, if someone's watching this, it's like beginner. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make one point. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like, so Estee Lauder got creamed, right?
Yep.
This year.
Mm-hmm.
So year to date, it's down 50%. I'm not going to talk about Pike. Yeah. Let's not beat Paycom to death. I don't know.
No.
But end phase, this also goes along with end phase. So end phase also got blown to pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, so we can look at like the PE ratio. Like, look at the PE ratios before it got creamed.
Yeah.
109, 126, 90, 40, 58. 40.
Yep. The premium.
So, I can let's look at Estee Lauder. Oh my God.
Yep.
Look at this.
Yep.
70s. It's just people if you're new to investing, just understand there's research. Okay, this is from the Stern, and this is from NYU's Stern Business School. The Dean Evaluation is at this school. So there's been studies. This is just one chart. There's other thoughts on this, but it's hard. It is blurry. I can't do anything about it. But like, there is an expectation, people, of growth based on a PE ratio that it's valued at. And when that narrative goes away, stock gets crushed.
Oh yeah.
Like, so all you people last 2-3 years that bought these crazy valuations like Estee Lauder and Enphase, and some payroll companies, but won't get more Estee Lauder, because I brought kind of this up to a certain YouTuber when he bought Estee Lauder at like 70, 80 PE. I'm like, the growth expectation is not there. So here's expected growth on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So we have like 5, 10, if you can't read it, 5 to 50. And then here's PE ratios. So this is from Stern Business School people. I didn't make this up, but it's just showing like projected growth attached to a PE ratio. Yep. This is like talking about high growth firms, right? So if we're at a 50 PE ratio, let's go over. So according to this, you're expecting 40% growth.
Yeah. What's casual 40% growth amongst friends?
So like, I think you people understand how lines work. The higher the growth, the higher the the PE ratio.
Yep.
So guess what happens when the growth all of a sudden disappears or gets dropped or cut?
Look out below.
Yeah. So Fabio would mention, there's a company with a 50 PE ratio has like the narrative is perfection, and any dent in that armor. But this is another way to put it, is just like, there's an expectation on a high PE company, and as soon as that falls apart at all, I mean, it doesn't hold up. This is other chart they talk about. Expected growth rates attached to different risk-free rates. So let's say we're doing a 6%. That's the closest one to what we are right now.
Yeah.
Which would be, I think it's the red one.
Mm-hmm.
So again, expected growth rates, and then you can attach them to a different risk-free rate, and then the PE ratio is attached to it. So if we go to a 60, here's a 60 PE. In the current environment, 45% growth rate, because we're about close to a 6% risk-free rate level. I don't know what to tell you. So like, if you're gonna buy something like yeah, of course, at an 80-90% PE ratio for a old, like, not that interesting company like Estee Lauder. Okay, what are the growth? Like, here, look at the growth rates. Growth rate in revenue, 8, 6. I mean, I'm okay. Earnings per share projections here, you're closer to that chart, but like Good God, people. Like, oh my God. Estimates. Okay, let's see.
Yep.
This is Seeking Alpha. Let's see. Earnings estimates. Oh, they don't have the percent. Am I missing it?
Not sure, sadly, because I'm not a Seeking Alpha guy, but
This is
yeah.
that's earning per share.
Yep.
Oh, revenue. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I just
Has the surprise to the upside justified it?
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
why Peter Lynch that PE is a screening tool.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
If
Like
you
that's
look at a construction company at a 40, 50 PE, and then you go look at the industry they're in, it averages like 20. You should be fucking you should be concerned.
yeah.
Like you should be concerned. Like here, the PE, okay, like sector average or median 16, but you're gonna buy Estee Lauder at 47. And it's average that this higher also. But okay. But you're not going to stop these people. And forget the fact that you're buying SoFi almost at a valuation of a JP Morgan. They're not that they're close actually.
I'm sorry.
In a price to book valuation, SoFi is like almost near JP Morgan levels, I think right now.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
like
trying.
1.4, 1.5. So
I'm trying not to.
when they say it's cheap because it's
overly
$7, they don't
Yeah.
know what they're talking. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I surrender.
Yeah.
But let's see. Okay.
Yeah, Leo's making a fair point. We're looking at TTM, but even forward.
Yeah, I know. I didn't click the forward one. So SoFi is at 1.43 price to book forward. Okay, what is JP Morgan? Oh my God, 1.35.
It's been beaten. JP Morgan is clearly inferior to SoFi.
So SoFi is more of a premium company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't deny the market. The markets are efficient. Okay.
Market is always right.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am joking, but that being said, though, like it is like I'm not here to poo-poo on the market because it's very powerful, very important, and I definitely still do respect the market and market participants, believe it or not. But
I don't want end phase. I don't know.
Yeah. No, same here. Same here.
Jesse's would be better to. I think he did a video on it.
Yeah, he did.
To check it. that's his game. I'm not.
He did. Yeah, and
he knows the tech better than I do.
Yeah, but he did say like he still wants more data, and granted he has a small position that he's looking to build out, but he would rather prices be even lower to build it out even more. So that's good for him. But
my only concern is just like it's so like these systems are so expensive, but like, if they can get down in price. So the solar systems get cheaper combined with interest rates going down and the cost of electricity going up.
Yeah.
You're creating an environment where solar installs will go back. It's good for solar panels, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But like you said, like why would you get solar panels unless it saves you money? Unless you're a crunchy person, but the only other reason would be government credits.
Yeah.
So it's not in your favor. Yeah, it doesn't save you money, but the government gives you $8,000. So now you do it.
Yeah.
But you're just betting on a lot of different things that have to happen for solar to work out residentially, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like I got solar panels. I don't know if I have what do I know? What's micro inverter or non-micro or like I don't know. I don't ask those things. So I don't know. I saw because Enphase has these huge warranties, so I'm thinking that's their selling point. Beyond the technology, they have 20 or 25-year warranties. Well, they got to carry that cost. That's an expense.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a legitimate expense.
Yes, you carry the warranty expenses because it's an expense to the business potentially.
Yep.
There's an expectation. If it breaks, you got to go fix it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Microinverters imply that a macro inverter exists.
It's micro and inverted.
Yeah. Thanks, Leo.
When I saw inverter, I'm like, okay, we're changing AC to DC or DC to AC.
That's what I thought.
We're inverting.
Yeah.
Oh well. Are we okay? Hour and a half. Good God.
Oh yeah. Yep. I think
any parting thoughts.
I think we covered a whole lot of ground. You covered what you got in the works early on, so I don't really have anything outside of thanks for having me on. Sorry I wasn't there for Tuesdays, but appreciate you having me on.
It's probably better I ran about Tesla on my own.
No. I like being there. Like you do a great job on your own, but I also like being there for it for sure. Front row seats.
Next up will be Moat.
Ooh,
I'm not doing anything else till the Moat gets done, but I have to do more research. I want to find more research. It's so hard to find good research papers like in journals on topics. They're hard to get online, especially when you're not paying for I'm not paying for a database. So I'm trying to find I want to find Moat research to really see if it matters. So the moatiness of a moat.
we go from attacking companies with higher PEs, unreasonably high PEs, to moat companies that probably do have higher PEs, but some may say that it's it's justified.
Well, it's funny because everything I've covered is like I gotta stop. It's active, passive, or like a methodology ETF.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it.
Yeah.
Because it's either like it's one of those three. This is like pure active, which I wanted to do something that was purely an actively managed fund, which Moat 100% is active. People are making those decisions. So, that'll be fun. I don't know if anyone's ever covered Moat. Everyone says Moat. It's like I don't know if you really.
Well, do we know what it means?
I think we just like to say it sometimes. I don't know. If, I hear some. I always say like you have a moat until you don't. Like,
yep.
Because people, I always say Adobe. I don't think Adobe has a moat. People, that's the one people want to fight me on. Like, I don't think Adobe has a moat.
Hey, there we go.
And one day they won't have a moat. Honestly,
stir up the hornet's nest.
Yeah, you stir up when you say a company doesn't have a moat, and some like people get butthurt real fast.
Them's fighting words.
And then people think every industry has like somebody's got a moat in everything.
Oh yeah,
like
I don't know. People will say, "Oh, it's a picks and shovels toll
but
road."
It's a creation of humans, so I don't think there's a right answer.
Yeah,
like moat is just people's opinions. Like the ETFs I found, it's just a company has analysts make decisions on moat and non-moatiness. So that's what Leo does all day. He told me.
Good old Leo. I love Leo.
He assesses moat. He's like, damn it, they got my secrets out. Tesla has a moat. Oh my god.
Yep.
Well, like the supercharger network. Is that a moat? I don't know. Yeah. Someday maybe it is.
Yep.
Maybe it gets to a point where it's just not nobody else. It's like everywhere and everyone uses it. And that could be a good example actually in video.
No, for sure.
I got to think of like something that's kind of iffy though.
Branding.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a fun topic. So
no, for sure.
It's more fun than free cash flow. So. So, anyways.
Yeah.
With that said.
I
should play out. What should I play out? Should I play out the one that I got copyright written?
Why not? That's a fun.
I'm gonna see if the Malaysian guy comes after me. Or I won't do that one. We'll do the normal one. So thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.